And you may remember a couple of months ago we talked to Dr. Fred Johnson, one of the truly remarkable leadership coaches for business and sports teams, including the Dolphins, including a number of others. And we wanted to circle back with him. We're on the eve of the draft up in Green Bay. And Dr. Fred, first of all, great to have you back. And how are you?
It is great to see you and an honor to be back. I tell you what, Paul, it is wild here in Green Bay. We're broadcasting this about 5 minutes away from Lambeau Field. Imagine Lambeau holds 90,000 people in a town of 100,000 people. And the logistics typically for a football game are crazy. Well, imagine this. Imagine a size crowd that is the same as 3 Packer games going on at the same time with all of the traffic, all of the crowds, all of the logistics for 90 straight hours in a town of 100,000. It is crazy here, but boy, is it exciting.
How difficult is it just to drive from, it's not a big town, but you still have to get around. Is it, do you feel it? Do you sense it?
Well, they've closed half the town. But the irony is my headquarters are downtown, and everybody was so afraid that this was going to be packed that no one's coming downtown, but they're all going out to Lambeau, and it's wall-to-wall traffic over there.
Well, I do want to talk to you. Just we've talked a lot, and you do so many things that are meaningful. But you wrote a piece recently that we noticed, and other things that you do. Just let's talk about what you've been up to lately and what you find so intriguing about this moment in time, especially in sports.
You know, I'm working with a number of very elite corporations throughout the country. Working with a firm that is creating algorithms that they can predict cancer 10 years before it can happen. I'm working with actually, I've been approached by an NHL team. I've never played an ounce of hockey in my life, but the chemistry is the same in the NHL as it is the NFL. And I'm also spending a lot of time with players who are reaching out to me, teaching them about leadership and how to make a difference and how to maximize their leadership ability, so that they can compete and they can have an edge in a locker room when they're about to be selected or a team's about to decide to cut them or not. Leadership makes a huge difference in prolonging a career or not.
And Dr. Fred, you're talking about the elite, whether it's a CEO, whether it's a corporate executive or a professional athlete. A lot of people watching right now, listening, we're not elite. We just try to get by, but we all want to be better. I was on a campus yesterday, and a young lady, a student, said, I graduate in 2 weeks and I don't have a job. I'm starting to panic. You hear this all the time, but if you could just address it more broadly to the rest of us, those who aren't going first in the draft tonight, but who are trying to survive.
You know, here's what I tell people. We all go through adversity. We all go through times where we're scared to death about what the next day is going to bring. And what we teach is your mindset, your ability to believe in yourself is critical when life takes a turn. To tell yourself, I'm going to trust my history. I've made it through these times before. I'm the same person. In fact, I'm probably wiser than I was before. I've got more experience. And I've made it through those difficult times. By golly, I can make it through this time. And that ability to trust your history. The other thing I would tell people that are in the area that you're talking about is shrink your world. And what I mean by that is focus on the things that you have control of and give that all you got and let everything else go by. All of the politics in the world today, I can't control that. So all of that worrying about that, all I'm doing is wasting my time in creating anxiety. And I'm missing opportunities to make a difference in the things that I can control. And so that's what I would say. Trust your history. If you've made it through bad times, you're going to do it again. And the other is shrink your world. Give your energies to the things that you can control and let go of everything else.
Yeah, I've heard coaches, and I know you have, talk about the energy vampires, the one that just suck the energy. We all know plenty of people like that. We spent a lot of time here lately. This new world of intercollegiate athletics, and we have players who are instead of facing decisions like, do I need to go to class this morning? They're being offered millions of dollars. It's hard to comprehend, especially for us, a lot of us who have been watching this for so long. Can you zero in a little bit on, especially college sports, where there is just such chaos going on at the moment?
It's not going to last. Eventually, there's going to be enough forces to step in and say, look, we went all the way from this side where players were being taken advantage of, all the way to this side where players now have the leverage in college sports, in every sport. But history shows that things always have a way of gravitating back to the middle. And eventually, enough things happen, like the thing that happened at University of Tennessee this past week. Those kinds of things are going to mount up, and finally, the right people and enough of the right people in power and influence are going to say enough is enough. Let's put some structure to this thing, and let's get some of the chaos out of this field. It's only a matter of time before that begins to happen.
Talking to Dr. Fred Johnson, who has dealt with this so long, you talk to people, and my understanding of what you do, people want to be motivated. They want to be led a little bit, even though you're teaching and preaching leadership. Overall, it doesn't matter whether you're on the NFL level or the college level, working in a factory. How do you define this part of leadership into the real world, which often seems dreary and not as exciting as maybe going first tonight down the street from you?
Well, what we teach people is this. You're going to get what you look for in life. If you have a mindset, a filter system that life is pessimistic, that everybody has a conspiracy, that you can't trust anybody, guess what? By 9 o'clock that morning, after you get out of bed, you're going to have 50 examples to prove your filter. At the same time, the elite leaders are going to say, I'm not going to give my power to all the negativity that goes along in my life and all the vampire suckers, as you call it, who want to rob me of joy and meaning and contentment and hope. I'm going to focus upon looking for the good in people. I'm going to look for the opportunity that comes out of every adversity. And you end up getting what you look for, Paul. I often talk about a principle called the law of attraction. Cynical people attract cynics who bring a lot of bad energy to them. People who choose to look at the world from a constructive viewpoint, they attract people who are constructive, if not even more constructive than they are. So how you think about your world, how you think about yourself, choosing to look at the world in a hopeful place will attract hopeful people to you. So I tell people, look at the relationships around you in your life, the key relationships. Are they naysayers? Are they negative? Are they always complaining? Or are they people who, and they suck the life out of people? Or are they people who are givers? Are they people who want to make a difference and pour themselves in the lives of other people? When you surround yourself with those kinds of people, I guarantee you your daily life is going to look an entirely different, even in the midst of adversity and difficulty and chaos and uncertainty.
I want to end on another subject, because this is a sports show. We talk about mistakes that people make in hiring and picking players. You deal with corporate leaders. And I mean, I read something, I think it was in the Wall Street Journal the other day. Some guy was hired at some big company, and he was out in like six months. I mean, this happens. There used to be a time, but why do the best, and we're talking about the best leaders, why do they make so many mistakes in hiring people in their corporations?
Listen, I am paid by NFL teams to evaluate players, for instance, sitting in a combine across from a player and who has been coached up. I'm paid to evaluate people in 15 minutes to see if that player is going to contribute to the locker room or tear up the locker room in 15 minutes. So I'm known for evaluating people deeply. That's one of the gifts that God has given me. But I will tell you, even myself in my own company, here's what I tell people. If you are 50% accurate, 500 would get you in the Hall of Fame in the National Baseball League. You know, the fact is, when you mishire, you ask yourself, okay, what did we learn from this? What do we need to do differently to minimize this? Get up off yourself, be resilient, go back out, swing for the fence, and hire again, and just stay at it. You know, there's not a company that does not have massive turnover in today's world. And so we're going to strike out. When we strike out, what do we learn? Let's get back in the game and let's keep swinging.
Well done, because what you don't want, I'm sure, is to complicate your mistake by making an even worse mistake, which happens all the time. Dr. Fred, come back. I don't know about the rest of the world, but I'm taking notes feverishly, but with everything you say. Great to see you again.
You're the best, Paul.
Thank you very much. Dr. Fred Johnson. Randy, I saw you over there taking notes too.